Questions about whether administrators at the STEM school were warned about the potential for violence prior to Tuesday's shooting. 9 Wants to Know has obtained a letter outlining concerns about bullying and violence sent to school leaders 5 months ago after an anonymous parent called a school board member with concerns that another Columbine could happen at the school. The Douglas County School District was alarmed enough to ask the school to investigate.
So what about STEM's response? 9 Wants to Know investigative reporter Jeremy Hahola discovered that STEM's response was to file a lawsuit. Jeremy?
That's right, Tom. This public document, a letter, lists all sorts of claims against the school. The claims were documented by a Douglas County School Board director who took an anonymous call from a parent and noted what they said. The district then sent STEM school this letter essentially saying, hey, this stuff sounds serious, investigate.
There is an extremely high drug culture at STEM, the letter says. Concerns about student violence due to a high-pressure environment. The individual called it a perfect storm and expressed concerns about a repeat of Columbine or Arapahoe. They also said many students are suicidal and violent in school. The school district asked STEM school to investigate. The head of the school, Penelope Euchre, then filed a lawsuit against the anonymous caller, known as Jane Doe, this past January, in an effort to get phone records and her identity. The lawsuit claims Jane Doe intentionally invaded Dr. Euchre's privacy by publishing false statements about her that cast her in a false light. After filing that lawsuit, STEM schools sent a letter to parents in February, saying an investigation by STEM board and staff leadership revealed no evidence of these allegations. Since the shooting, STEM school has hired a public relations firm that sent us a statement. It says, in part, like any school with more than 1,800 students, we receive complaints, all of which we take seriously and investigate promptly. And our investigation revealed no evidence to support any of the allegations raised in the anonymous complaint. We found video of a STEM parent speaking before the Douglas County District School Board last December.
I was approached by a group of STEM parents to submit this document on their behalf. STEM policy prevents them from speaking against the school.
This parent submitted a list of complaints to the school district about STEM leadership, saying parents are afraid to speak out and behavior among students is a problem.
Retaliation is a legitimate concern for staff, students, and parents. And underqualified supervision and a lack of support for students with behavioral and emotional health issues requires intervention.
This afternoon, the Douglas County School Board called an emergency meeting to talk about all of the events this week. The board only has some oversight over charter schools, not the same involvement they do of other public schools. About an hour before that meeting, they called it off. Kim and Tom, back to you.
Any idea as to why they called that off, Jeremy?
Logistical concerns, they said on their website.
All right, thanks.